Everyone thinks they know which taco chain is the worst. But here's what most people miss. The worst offender isn't always the obvious budget option, charging you $2 for mystery meat. Sometimes it's the mid-tier chains that should know better but don't. While you've been settling for soggy shells and pre-processed beef paste, some chains have been taking your money and serving you what barely qualifies as Mexican food. And get this, a few of them are charging premium prices for the privilege. So let's talk about the 8 taco chains that range from absolute disasters to the ones actually worth your money, because life's too short to waste on tacos that fall apart before you finish chewing. Smash that subscribe button because we're about to save you from some seriously questionable food choices. Number 8, Taco John's, founded in 1969 in Cheyenne, Wyoming. Taco John's built a Midwest empire on one questionable premise. What if we put tater tots in tacos and called it innovation? With about 380 locations, primarily in small-town America, they've survived for over 50 years by being the only option within 20 miles. What you actually get is mystery meat with the exact same texture as Taco Bell, that uniform mush with zero texture variation. The shells taste perpetually stale, like they've been sitting in a warehouse since the 80s. Their signature potato olas are somehow the best thing on the menu, which tells you everything you need to know. The meat and potato burrito clocks in at 600 calories with 850 milligrams of sodium. That's 37% of your daily intake for what amounts to tater tots wrapped in sadness. At $3.99, you're paying premium prices for gas station quality food. One Reddit user nailed it, built an empire on tater tots and low expectations. The construction fails at bite 2 when those potato oles are involved. Turns out deep-fried cylinders don't belong in tacos for engineering reasons. They survive on geographic monopoly, targeting small-town markets where being the only drive-thru option after 9 p.m. equals success, when the best thing you can say about a taco chain is the tater tots are decent. You've created a potato oles delivery system that happens to involve tortillas. Number 7, Taco Bell. Founded in 1962, Taco Bell has grown to over 8,000 locations by perfecting one business model: late-night desperation. They've spent 60 years proving that rock-bottom prices can compensate for rock-bottom quality. Their seasoned beef is legally only 88% beef. The other 12% is fillers and extenders. The meat has a gummy, wet sand consistency that leaves an orange grease slick seeping through the wrapper. Hard shells shatter like stale crackers within 30 seconds. The lettuce is limp with brown oxidized edges, the cheese is rubbery, and the sour cream separates into a liquid pool at the bottom. At $1.79 per taco, you're paying a 500% markup on approximately 30 cents of actual ingredients. Reddit describes it as food in the same way that cardboard is technically edible. The construction fails at bite 2 or 3 when the shell breaks and contents spill out the back. You'll need 4 to 5 napkins minimum. Taco Bell survives on genius strategy. Be open when everyone else is closed and price it cheap enough that drunk college students don't care about quality. At $1.79, you're funding their late-night monopoly while consuming chemistry experiments masquerading as Mexican food. Number 6, Del Taco. Founded in 1964, Del Taco positioned itself as the better Taco Bell, which is like being the tallest building in a town where nothing is over 2 stories. With over 600 locations, primarily in the western U.S., they've spent 60 years trying to differentiate themselves with fresh grilled claims. The seasoned beef is marginally less mushy than Taco Bell. Their grilled chicken is actually grilled but tends toward dry and stringy. Shells are inconsistently fresh. 60% of the time they taste stale. At 69 cents on the value menu, it contains about 25 cents of actual ingredients. That's a 175% markup, which is actually a better value to quality ratio than competitors. Not that this is saying much. Google reviews consistently state perfectly mediocre. I mean that as a compliment. While Reddit calls it Taco Bell if Taco Bell went to community college. One Yelp reviewer nailed the identity crisis. The fries are better than the tacos, which tells you everything. Del Taco survives on West Coast nostalgia and positioning themselves as the slightly better option. At 69 cents, you're getting exactly what you pay for, and not a penny more. But if you think bland mediocrity is the worst thing a taco chain can serve you, wait until you see what number 5 is doing. Number 5. Moe's Southwest Grill. Founded in 2000 in Atlanta, Moe's Southwest Grill has about 700 locations built on a simple premise. Yell, "Welcome to Moe's." Loud enough, and maybe people won't notice the food is aggressively average. What makes this particularly frustrating is that enthusiasm cannot substitute for seasoning. Their chicken is dry more often than not. The ground beef is underseasoned and needs serious help from the toppings bar. The soft flour shells are warm but completely unremarkable. No char, no personality. The toppings bar means fresh vegetables, but everything sits at room temperature, which kills any chance of a properly hot taco. You're doing the work and probably overloading it, causing immediate structural failure. At $8.50 for a meal including chips and salsa, you're paying a 325% markup on about $2 of actual ingredients. Reddit users have called it Chipotle's annoying younger brother. The most damning review, they yell "Welcome to Moe's" because the food won't speak for itself. The free chips cost them pennies to make but create a perception of value. You're paying $9 to build your own mediocre taco while they save on labor costs. At $9, you're paying for the illusion of customization while ending up with a taco that tastes like it was seasoned by someone who thinks black pepper is adventurous. If this is already saving you from a bad meal, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss what's next. Number 4. Qdoba Mexican Eats. Founded in 1995 in Denver, Qdoba positioned itself as the Chipotle alternative that doesn't charge extra for guacamole or queso. With about 750 locations, they've spent nearly 30 years as the understudy that never quite got the starring role. But here's where it gets tricky. Free add-ons don't fix. Fundamental construction problems. Their grilled proteins have actual char marks and visible texture improvement over budget chains. Fresh vegetables have real crunch. The queso is smooth and creamy. Actual cheese, not sauce. The real kicker is the massive overfilling that creates catastrophic structural failure. Your taco becomes a salad in your lap. At $3.75 per taco or $11 for a meal, you're paying a 210% markup. Yelp reviews state free queso doesn't fix the fact that my taco is now a salad in my lap. One Google reviewer nailed it. The portions are generous if you consider generous to mean structurally impossible. The mess factor is 8 out of 10. It falls apart at first bite due to overfilling. You'll need 5+ napkins and absolutely cannot eat this without a plate and fork. They've chosen generous portions over structural integrity, which sounds consumer friendly until you're wearing your lunch. At $11 for a meal, you're getting food that requires a fork anyway, which defeats the entire purpose of a taco. Number 3, Chipotle Mexican Grill. Founded in 1993 by Steve Ells in Denver, Chipotle revolutionized fast casual dining with their Food with Integrity mission. With over 3,200 locations, they've spent 30+ years as the industry leader that everyone else tries to copy. And get this, they've earned that position through actual quality ingredients and consistent execution. Their proteins are properly grilled with visible char marks. Carnitas actually shreds. Chicken is juicy when not overcooked. Tortillas are properly steamed and actually pliable. Fresh vegetables with crisp lettuce, and tacos that actually hold together through the entire eating experience. At $4 per taco or $13 for a meal, you're paying a 165% markup on about $150 in ingredients, the lowest markup of any fast casual chain. Reviewed. Reddit's portion discourse is real, but reviewers also praise still the best chain option, which is both a compliment and an indictment. The most infuriating part is the $2.50 guacamole upcharge on avocado that costs them maybe 40 cents, a 525% markup. But they've earned customer loyalty through consistency and quality. At $13 for a meal, you're paying restaurant prices because that's approaching restaurant quality. When your biggest controversies are portion sizes and guacamole fees rather than mystery meat lawsuits, you're doing something right. And if you're finding this ranking useful, hit the like button. It really helps the channel cut through the noise. Number 2, Tijuana Flats. Founded in 1995 in Winter Park, Florida, Tijuana Flats built a cult following in the Southeast on one critical difference. They actually press their tortillas fresh daily. With about 100 locations primarily in Florida, they've remained a regional secret while chains with worse food went national. Their fresh pressed tortillas are noticeably different, warm, pliable, with slight corn flavor and actual structural integrity. Hand-seasoned, properly grilled proteins. Their fish is hand battered and actually crispy. Fresh cut vegetables prepared daily represent a quality step up that's immediately noticeable. The hot sauce bar with 30 plus varieties means you control the heat level and flavor profile. At $4.25 per taco or $10 for a meal, you're paying a 140% markup on about $175 in ingredients. Very reasonable for the quality delivered. Reddit calls it Florida's best kept secret that the rest of the country is sleeping on. While Orlando food bloggers rave, finally, someone who understands what a fresh tortilla tastes like. The construction is legitimately well engineered, holds together through normal eating, and can be eaten one-handed. It's $10 for a meal, you're actually getting what you pay for, a novel concept in fast food. When food bloggers are genuinely asking why you're not national yet, you've created something special. But if fresh tortillas can make this much difference, wait until you see what creative menu engineering can accomplish. Number 1, Torchy's Tacos. Founded in 2006 by Mike Ripka from a food trailer in Austin, Texas, Torchy's has grown to over 100 locations while maintaining food truck quality at scale, which shouldn't be possible but somehow is. This is what happens when a food truck gets an MBA but keeps its soul. Fresh flour tortillas with proper char. The Trailer Park Taco features fried chicken that's legitimately crispy with audible crunch. Properly seasoned proteins with texture variation. Creative topping combinations that actually work. Green chilies with flavor, real queso, house-made sauces with complexity. At $5.25 per taco or $15 for a meal, you're paying a 110% markup on about $2.50 in actual ingredients. The lowest markup of all chains reviewed. Reddit praises it as proof that food truck quality can scale without selling out. Multiple food bloggers agree. Worth the price, worth the wait, worth the hype. The construction is professional level, holds together despite complexity, and can be eaten one-handed with care. Torchy's succeeds because they've cracked the code most chains can't, maintaining creativity and quality while scaling. Their pricing is honest. You're paying restaurant prices because that's restaurant quality, creativity, and execution. At $15 for a meal, you're paying what the food is actually worth. This is the gold standard that proves tacos can be both fast and actually good. After ranking 8 chains, one pattern becomes crystal clear. The taco game is less about authenticity and more about honesty. The worst chains lie to you with rock-bottom prices while serving mystery meat paste. The mediocre ones distract you with free chips and forced enthusiasm. But the best ones? They're upfront about what they're selling and actually deliver on the promise. Here's the real takeaway. Taco John's survives on geographic monopoly. Taco Bell banks on your desperation. Del Taco and Moe's offer mediocrity with slightly different marketing. Qdoba gives you free queso but structurally unsound tacos. Chipotle remains a fast casual standard. Tijuana Flats proves fresh tortillas matter. And Torchy shows that creativity and quality can coexist with scale. Bottom line, the best taco is the one that doesn't pretend to be something it's not. Hit subscribe if this changed how you'll order tacos, and drop a comment telling us which ranking you think we got wrong.